Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Photo Critique, especially for you guys from the community. Hey, first image. I absolutely love this. Look what she does with the smoke. It's absolutely amazing. Now, this can go wrong in so many ways, and it went so right in this case. Really love this shot. The only thing I might change is actually give it a little bit of a boost, and I'm going to show you how you can do that. Create a new layer. And make it empty. Now go to the bottom layer, go to channels, and for example take the red channel. Do edit, select all, select all, edit, copy, and now go back to layers, go to that top layer you created, there we go, and now do edit, paste. Okay, now you have a black and white version on top of the color. It's not really the black and white version, however. This is the red channel. And what you can now do is actually use something like, for example, multiply, or in this case, I really like it with soft light. And as you can see, the image really pops out way more now. So this is something that I would do with this shot. And after that, I would probably flatten the image and go into alien skin exposure, the X2. Really like that. If you want an image tinting software package, make sure you check out alien skin exposure. They're at the moment exactly on top of their game. It's absolutely amazing what they do. And I really love to tint my images. It gives it a little bit of extra. Look at this, for example, and do apply. Now, you may think something completely different, and of course it's your shot, the guy that sent this in, or girl, of course, that's also possible. But this is something that I would do with it, just to give it a little bit more of a unique look and a little bit more bite. Okay, so let's close this one. And here we have storytelling. Really like this. Look at her smirk. Haha, she's poison, and the girl in the back probably is going to drink the poison. The thing I have with this is lighting-wise, it isn't that exciting, that interesting. And one of the things that you could do for this is, for example, use a spotlight on her face, make the rest a little bit more dark, and let her jump out. You can fake this a little bit, but it will never be as nice as you shot it, of course. So go to a new layer and create soft light neutral gray. Now what you could do is take your elliptical marquee tool and make this a little bit smaller. There we go. And now just select our main subject. Okay. Feather this selection a little bit. So let's do, it's not a high resolution image, so let's do 50 pixels, and I think that's probably, oh no, that's okay. Do an inverse selection, and then just drop in black paint. And again, this is how I should actually, or sorry, I would advise you to actually light it on location. So don't, it's not a retouching tip. So now she jumps out, only the girl in the back doesn't jump out. So let's do the same thing for her. Let's do an elliptical marquee tool. Let's go around her and feather this. Let's do, let's try 50, that's okay. And now just take a brush with white paint and just paint it in. Now this is a little bit too much, so let's go back for, let's do middle gray and just take the effect off just a little bit. There we go. And now do select, deselect. Now this is very, very rough, but you see that immediately the image totally changes. So now you have your attention on this girl, you have the attention on that girl. So with lighting, you can actually just pinpoint your models, and this is something that I see going wrong a lot. It's a nice story, it's literally very, very cool, don't get me wrong, but I just miss that interaction. Sorry, the interaction with lighting. Another thing that you could do is actually make it black and white. And you know the running gag, right? If something goes wrong, make it black and white, add a lot of contrast, and you have instant art. So let's first flatten this image. go to Alien Skin Exposure X2. And now we're gonna go to black and white films and just make it black and white. There you go. It's just an example. In black and white, it looks a little bit more strong, I think. So, oh. Anyway, if you want to shoot this, make sure you light her and you light her. So you need 2 strobes. If you don't have 2 strobes or you don't have the knowledge to do that, set your camera on a tripod, make sure that it's fixed, remote control it, I don't care. Shoot her first with 1 strobe and the rest of the room will go dark. Then place your second model there. There's no interaction between those two, so you can very easily do that in Photoshop. Now shoot your second model with the same strobe and lighting setup and then blend those two together. As long as there's no interaction between those models, and I mean that they connect to each other, it's a very, very simple trick to do. Okay, let's go to the next one. Here we go. And this one I really like for the story. This is the poison didn't work, so let's take the gun. And the thing is, however, I like that you don't see her head, but it's the same thing over here. There's not a lot of stuff going on lighting-wise. So let's do the same trick, do a layer. And just create and do a layer, a new layer, and do it in mode soft light. This is one of the most magic layers because if you do the soft light layer, you can actually do whatever you want on that layer. That's really cool. Okay. Do a select, modify feather. Let's do 200 pixels. Nope. That's too much. If you send in images, guys, let's try a slightly higher resolution. Because then I can show you guys better what I mean. Okay, let's go to 40. That's okay. Select inverse. Okay, let's drop some black paint in there. Okay. Do a deselect. This is already nicer. And you see the difference because now immediately your attention is drawn to the girl sitting over here. And what you could do to make it a little bit more creepy is actually give it a little bit of a tint. So do a new layer. And let's go for red. In today's vlog, I actually also explained to you guys why I love red so much. So make sure you check out today's vlog in Behind the Closed Doors. That's July 6th. Okay. And put this over with soft light. And now just start dragging that slider down. There you go, gives it a little bit more of a warm tint. You can also try multiply, no, that's too much. Or maybe overlay. That's okay. It just gives it a little bit more of a funky look. And you can actually determine like, okay, do I want the model to be affected? No, I don't. Okay, layer mask, reveal all. And then just take your model out of it again. So your model over here has the normal tint and everything else is reddish from the blood. Okay, this looks pretty cool. What I would take out, however, that's always annoys me, is these kind of things. So just select it with your lasso tool. And nowadays we have content aware fill, of course. Just select it and just press the backspace or delete button and make sure you have content aware on. And there you go. It's those little things, you see what I mean? It's not that difficult to do and it just makes the picture pop a little bit more. Even here, by the way, if you want to make it more pop, let me see, let's start with an adjustment layer. Just do a layer, a new adjustment layer and just make it black and white. Now you might think I'm a big fan of black and white. I am. But often black and white gives you so much more detail and contrast for the story. You can of course make the skin tones a little bit darker or brighter. I like it a little bit bright. But make sure that her bra doesn't move. Yellow is also in the skin, so let's go for the blues of the towel. Let's make that disappear a little bit. The towel is over here. Let's do this. Okay, so we hardly want to see the towel, and with the magenta you can actually make the bra look a little bit darker. There we go. Okay, and she's now looking white as a sheet. Now if I drop down the reds, she gets a more natural skin tone, but if I just raise it up, it really enhances that shot. So do a layer flatten image, and now just give it a little bit of pop with some adjustment layers. With some curves. So there we go, curves down, and here the curves up. There you go. Just a totally different shot, as you can see. So this is how I should actually do it. And these artifacts you will never see them if you take the original raw file. Okay, so that was the critique for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Let other people know about our email community and of course about our YouTube channel. We try to upload something every single day or at least 4 or 5 times a week. So we really appreciate your help with growing the community. Thank you so very much for watching, guys, and see you again next week for another episode.